has to have me some iced tea. All right. Camp WWE episode number 4 from last night. Basically, the rundown is Triple H has to take Mr. McMahon out on a date in the same way that he would take Stephanie out on a date in order to gain Mr. McMahon's approval for dating Stephanie. And while that's going on, little fucking John Cena had made I think it was a molten lava cake. He'd made a homemade lava cake, and Mark Henry's like, "Hey man, what you got there?" And Mark Henry eats the whole damn cake and gets constipated and can't poop. But yeah, so little John Cena starts helping Mark Henry along through his pregnancy, because it was Cena's fault that Mark Henry got pregnant. And yeah, Triple H goes and picks up Mr. McMahon for their date, and Mr. McMahon implements a point system. You know, if Triple H does something good, he gets some points. If he does something bad, he loses points, basically. And so yeah, they go off and do that. And Mark Henry starts getting all emotional and having, you know, like pregnancy hormones and shit going on. And you know, him and John Cena start arguing, you know, and fighting with each other. "You did this to me. Just, I hate you. No, I love you." And the Bella twins just kind of sit back and start enjoying it, eating popcorn while they watch. Triple H and Mr. McMahon go out and have fun. They go out to dinner. They beat up a comedian, and they go boating in a swan boat and chase swans. And they stay up. They stay up till sunrise, just talking, and it's beautiful. But yeah. That next morning, after, you know, they stayed up talking, Stephanie comes up to Triple H and is like, "All right, so, you know, Daddy says I can go out on a date with you, and, you know, let's go do this." And now he's suddenly kind of turned off and shit, because now he's fallen in love with Mr. McMahon because they had such a great date. And while that's all going on, fucking little John Cena was drowning his sorrows with shots of applesauce. So he's all fucking belligerent and, like, you know, drunk and shit, because he'd been taking shots of applesauce all night and passed out. And but yeah, Triple H and Stephanie go out on their fucking crazy ass date. Stephanie's talking, and Triple H just can't stop thinking about Mr. McMahon and how much he loves him. And Stephanie had said something about Mr. McMahon he was going to Madagascar. He was getting on a plane and going to Madagascar. And so Triple H went run into the airport to go stop Mr. McMahon from leaving. And Mr. McMahon's just hanging out at a Chili's 2 at the airport, having some food. And so Triple H is like, "Oh my God, don't leave. I love you." And, you know, Stephanie shows up. "How dare you leave during our date? You know, you asshole." And then it kind of changes, where Stephanie and Mr. McMahon start fighting over Triple H, and Triple H just basically he finally stands up for himself. You know, they're talking to him like, "Come here, boy, come here, Triple H, come here." You know, they're trying to get him to go, and he finally stands up for himself and runs away. And that kind of makes them both that kind of makes Mr. McMahon and Stephanie both have newfound love and respect for Triple H. Cena, little John Cena, is still worried about Mark Henry and helps him give birth. Helps him with his fucking Lamaze and has him push and all that shit. And basically, while they're doing that, the Bella twins have gathered a few more kids, and they're kind of watching through the window. Sorry, my phone started ringing, but I'll finish. I'm just wrapping this up. But yeah, John Cena is helping Mark Henry give birth. He pushes. The kids are watching through the window, enjoying the show, and Mark Henry manages to give birth. But yeah, Stephanie runs into Triple H in the cafeteria, basically smacks him around a little bit in order to get even because he hurt her feelings and made her feel inferior by standing up to her and leaving on their date and all that stuff. But then they're even because she got to smack him around a little bit. But yeah, and then John Cena basically he cares about the baby too much. The baby. And he leaves the baby in a box on Mr. McMahon's doorstep, and Mr. McMahon picks it up and brings it in his cabin. And yeah, so yeah, that's basically the rundown of Camp WWE number 4, episode 4. I like this show a lot. It's just, I don't know, it's just right up my alley. But anyway, I'll leave you all alone and getting my crap together, and I'm gonna make a video right after this for my review of Extreme Rules from last night. So see you later.